What's good, y'all? Back again, another day. It's your boy, the Curtis York, and we're here again on a Sunday, man. And your boy is tired, man. Welcome to Yorktown. It is Sunday. We here again. Sunday chat. Let me change the title real quick. Yorktown. Yes, sir. Yorktown. Just got to Yorktown. Yorktown. Just got to Yorktown. And let me tell y'all, man, your boy is tired, bro. Tired, tired, tired. You know, um, I've been running off of very little sleep since Friday night. Yeah, because Friday night we went to visit my mom, and Amir just would not go to sleep. So Friday night was rough. Last night, I don't know what happened last night. Oh, last night we had a dinner. We went to go celebrate my LV's birthday, his birthday party. So we did that last night. That was pretty cool. And then tonight I just got back from South Carolina. Had to drop Koi off. It's 9:30. So yeah, your boy is tired, man. Your boy is tired, tired, tired. And then I'm also in the process of packing because we taking a little trip um, pretty soon. So I'm excited about that. Um, got some packing to do and whatnot to get that ready. Um, yeah, that's about it, man. Your boy is tired. Let me see. I don't really have much to talk about, so I ain't gonna stress too much. I'm probably ain't gonna be on here too long. Just making sure I do my due diligence, man. We got to get this live until 500 going on. We're going to keep coming every day. Jamari, what's going on, my brother? One of the most frequent Yorktown visitors, you know what I'm saying? He's a full-time resident of Yorktown, you know. Bro, I am tired, dog. Tired, tired, tired. So, let me see what we got going on. What's going on in the streets? I I'm freestyling it tonight. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I don't have no topic in mind that I wanted to talk about. I don't really actually I do. Um Now that I've thought about it, apparently there is a sports betting is really big right now. And I'm slowly getting away from watching other content creators stuff because I don't want it to bleed into mine. But I saw a very interesting topic of someone saying that sports betting is going to be like the crack epidemic in the black community and other communities as well, but it's going to hit the black community particularly hard because we don't have the money to be playing those types of games. And the way that they're wiring it and they're setting it up, they're making it very marketable and very appealing to black people because we love sports. And also, with the big thing is it's going to be transitioning where you can do bets on your phone and the whole nine. And when people lose, it's going to be very interesting. And then with that, I honestly see a world, in my opinion, where you'll be able to bet on, and it's probably already here if you do enough digging, but people are going to be betting on Madden. And of course, obviously, people bet on Madden and 2K at the crib, and they do things like that. But you're gonna have competitive betting on random people like me playing 2K or Madden, and you're gonna be able to bet on live stream in real time, and it's gonna be crazy. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Um, Nicki Minaj just dropped an album recently, and my wife is a barb, not the new barbs that's kind of out there like that, but she she listened to it and we kind of listened to it. I haven't listened to it enough to like really go in on it and formulate an opinion yet, but we gonna check it out and see what's going on. Um, I also noticed that a lot of people are complaining about. Let me see. This is true, especially with all the new apps, Prize Picks, Underdog. I used to be big on it earlier this year. Yeah, that's not my idea. That's not something that I can take credit for. That's the guy Tone Talks, he brought it to my attention. That's something that I didn't really think about because I don't really do the sports betting. My cousin is big on it and he tried to put me on and I kind of looked into it, but then I was like, nah, something about it just didn't work for me. Like I didn't know enough about sports betting and I don't really watch sports to that degree to be sitting up here trying to bet. But I thought about it, I do have boys and my boys are impressionable and I would be highly upset if my son gambled my money away and what I'm saying, he just did it on the PlayStation casually. Because same thing with Fortnite. You buy the V-Bucks and everything and you look up and they done spent all your money. Like, bro, so that's what I'm thinking about. Like, of course you have the primary effects, the grown people that spend their money, but that type of stuff can definitely trickle down to the kids where, the kids are gambling and they're um playing Fortnite and they start doing little bets and stuff like that. So it's definitely something to be mindful of. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal until, they brought it to my attention, and that was Tone Talks over there with the ADOS community. I saw it and I thought it was pretty interesting, and that's definitely something to be present and mindful of. So definitely keep that in mind, man. Something to look out for because yeah, we don't really think about how the ripple effects and stuff happens over time. It was so addicting, man. It wasn't until I started keeping track of my financials every month that I realized how bad it was. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to happen to a lot of people. Like they're going to see it and a lot of these places are giving away free money. Like they'll give you $300 that you can only use on the site and it's free money. So you do $300, you hit let's say $3,000 or $5,000 in our community, $3,000 is life changing, bro. Like, you could do a lot with $3,000. If you only getting 1,500 a check, you know what I'm saying, or you making $3,000 a month, and you hit $3,000 off of one play gambling. That's life changing money. But what you don't think about is when you lose, you know what I'm saying, and then you're trying to recoup that money and get it back, and you're making desperate decisions. And that's the thing about people have to kind of look out for it in terms of playing the stock market as well. A lot of people look at stock markets like gambling, and that's been running rampant in the community as well. And I don't think people really talk about that enough. You got a lot of people that have put in the work and they've been able to, get a solid understanding of the market to the extent where they're teaching other people. And I'm not calling anybody out. I just want to say that because I know how messy the internet can get, and I do have a lot of frat brothers and I have a lot of friends that, play the market. And I play the market from time to time as well, not to the level or the degree that I would be teaching classes or anything like that. But I know a lot of people that do. And, what I'm saying, I don't want it to seem like it's a slight or anything towards them. But, you know, a lot of them will tell you that they're making their money off of the market and they're making their money off of selling you their courses, or they're making their money off of multi-level marketing. That's just that. I don't really want to get too deep in that because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want nobody to feel like I'm slighting them or I'm trying to be funny or anything like that. But a lot of people, and they prey off of our lack of knowledge and our lack of information. We are the easiest group of people to mislead because we just don't, our culture a lot of times doesn't focus on true financial literacy. We'll focus on financial literacy, but we'll focus on financial literacy with the mindset of getting the bag. Like we don't look at it as if we want to understand the system and we want to understand how it works. We want to understand the system good enough to where we can game it, or we can run a play, or what I'm saying, we can try to make some quick money just to get out of situations. And when you're in that desperate mindset, you are very easy prey. It's easy to be taken advantage of when you're desperate. And that's where you look at Hollywood and you look at a lot of people that, get caught up in these situations. It's not that they're stupid, it's not that they're dumb, it's just that they're desperate. And, they're active participants in a game that is one-sided. Or, you get benefits, but the benefits that you get, you have to pay so much for it. That time and the energy and the humiliation that you went through, you could have easily just worked hard and got it yourself, or, maybe reach a different level of success. But, it still would have been different. You would have still had your soul. You would have still had, what I'm saying, your morals and your principles. So, yeah, that's what's going on. You just gotta be cautious, and especially us as parents, what I'm saying, we definitely have to talk to our kids and we have to educate them about get rich quick schemes and just, what I'm saying, finances as a whole. And we also have to do our part and make sure that we're providing the best types of scenarios where they aren't getting in those situations where they have to look at trying to get money quick. Because a lot of people, they'll look at the story of, I think it was FedEx, where the guy went to Vegas and he gambled his money and he saved his company. And they think that that is, what I'm saying, a way to get started, or the best way to take a gamble and take a risk and put your life on the line. And there's so many other alternatives and different ways to where, that's not something that you want to do, especially if you're trying to build something over time. So it's just something we got to be mindful of, man, because um, that type of stuff can, drive people off the edge, man, off the deep end. So we got that. Y'all know I'm a gamer, man. I don't even hide it. I don't try to act like I'm not. I constantly tell y'all about the games I be playing. Speaking of sports and whatnot, my son is starting to get into football, and I'm sitting there looking, and I'm kind of like, now after what I just saw about the gambling and stuff, I'm trying to figure out how we need to have that conversation of, you know, just because you see it on TV, don't think that you're gonna be out here doing that. But I just got Spider-Man 2. Well, we just got Spider-Man 2 because he wanted it, and so I got it, and I'm playing it too. And let me tell y'all, bro, Spider-Man 2, I like it. It's pretty cool. You know, it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool. I like Spider-Man 2. We got a while to go. I just kind of got into it, and I like it so far. I'm gonna probably play it. I'm gonna up it and do the amazing difficulty, which is like the hard mode, just to really, really get the experience. Because you can always adjust it and lower it down as needed. So, um, yeah, man. As a matter of fact, as soon as I finish up here, that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I need to get another webcam so I could do some game streams, man. And, we just do a little game and chat conversation. Looking forward to that, man. I really miss playing these video games, bro. And just sitting up here chatting with y'all. Still working on my OSHA 30. That is, let me tell y'all, I definitely need to update my homies. So the thing about this OSHA 30 is my goal was to be finished in a month. Now, granted, within this month, well, last month, my grandmother passed, and just a whole lot of other things. And, I'm not using that as an excuse because I don't really do excuses. But what I found out when I started taking the courses is you can only fail two. If you fail two, then you have to spend the money and you have to start over again. And what I'm saying, I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to spend money on something that I already paid for twice just because I'm trying to rush through or meet an arbitrary goal that I set. So I've been writing detailed notes on every chapter. Like, just to give y'all context, it's called the OSHA 30 because it's 30 hours. And I've already hit 30 hours, y'all, and it's 80 sections and then a final exam. So the way that it's set up on the software that I'm using, because there's different accredited softwares that you can use to get your OSHA 30. The one that I'm using, it is 80 sections or 80 chapters, and you have a test at the end of every chapter, and every chapter has subchapters. So I'm taking very detailed notes on every subchapter. So let's say chapter one, you have six subchapters. So you have chapters 1 through 6. At the end of chapter 6, you have an exam. And if you fail that final exam at the end of chapter 1, then that counts towards one of your failures. Let's say chapter 2 has two subchapters. If you go through chapter 2 and you fail the exam and you fail chapter 1 and chapter 2, then you got to pay the fee, whatever it was. I don't remember. And you got to start over again. If you get to chapter 30, if you get to chapter 80 or 79 and you fail two, you got to start all the way over and you got to pay the money again. So I've been going through every chapter and every sub chapter, writing detailed notes, just making sure that I have everything. So when I get to the test, I can look at my notes and I'm not guessing and I'm not basing it off memory. And like I said, I've already hit 30 hours, but we still going because I just need to make sure that I don't have to do this thing again because it's very time consuming. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but I always tell y'all professional development is the move, and you always want to make sure that you're doing professional development for yourself so that, it's independent of any job or it's career based or whatever happens, you can kind of maneuver the way that you need to. So, really excited about that. It's taking a lot longer than I thought, but the payoff is going to be so much better because I'm actually retaining the information through my notes, and then I can go back and look at them and bust it down and make sure that I'm doing the best possible way that I can with that. So, I hope that y'all are taking notes, man, and y'all listening and y'all paying attention because it's getting real. Um, the other night, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna backtrack. Y'all know I always gotta refer to my old videos. I was talking about the homeless epidemic that it just seems like nobody's really touching on or talking about. And one of my regulars in Yorktown, he was like he was homeless for a while and sleeping in the car. And I was like, you know what I'm saying, bro, I get it, man. I understand. I appreciate you sharing your story, as a matter of fact, because a lot of people don't know that, your boy was homeless for a while, which is why I know why people go look at, how to sleep in your car or best places to sleep in your car. I was there, bro. Like I slept in the car. Granted, it wasn't an extended period of time because I had family that, looked out and, none of it was really the best situation, but it worked out. And, your boy was able to get through that situation and come out on the other side. So, if anybody's going through something right now, let me personally tell y'all and let y'all know there is another side, and you will come out on that other side. And when you get out on the other side, you're going to be a lot smarter. You're going to be a lot more grateful and appreciative, and things kind of hit different, man. You know, last night, me and the wife went to STK, which is a pretty fancy restaurant. I told y'all about it last night when we got home, and it was cool, man. Granted, we just got the appetizers because I ain't trying to impress nobody. I ain't trying to flex. Y'all know my situation. So we just eating, man. And, I met a real cool brother, frat brother. He works out, and I told him I wanted to work out with him. He was doing security. And, I looked at his Instagram and it's like, this guy really, really works out. So now I'm like, I hope he don't, press me on that because I don't know, bro. This is like a David Goggins type of dude, dog. Like, I'm like, I set myself up for that. But yeah, I'm really big on pushing myself in professional development and personal development. We also have to make sure that we're growing as people. If you come to Yorktown, we're gonna laugh and we're gonna have fun and we're gonna talk about things, but we also gonna focus on growth and development and building yourself up as a person, man, because you gotta be competitive in all aspects. You know, um, I probably share this and sign off because like I said, your boy is tired, man. I was talking to one of my other frat brothers who lives in Atlanta right now, and he was just talking about how, rough the dating game is now. And, obviously I'm married, so I'm not in the game and I'm far, far, far removed from it, thankfully, but I was in the game when the game started changing, the rules started changing. And, you definitely have to be ultra competitive. Before you could kind of just get by just by looking the part and, not really having everything together. But these days, man, you definitely got to be the whole package and you got to make sure that you're ultra competitive. And, that's something that I think we don't really tell the youngins anymore, coming up. Like, you don't have to really get into all the red pill stuff. You don't have to get into all of the other stuff. But what you do need to know is that you need to be competent at what you do. You need to be physically fit, and you need to know how to handle business. It's crazy that a lot of people don't know how to pay their bills because they've always had somebody else paying their bills. It's crazy that they don't know how to negotiate situations, or call the company and say, hey, I'm short this week, can we do a payment plan, or can we do a what's the thing called, I don't know, I don't remember. But just being able to talk to the guys and go from there. Let me see. Not to throw you off, it's all good, bro. Like I said, we just freestyling tonight. Not to throw you off or anything, but I started the boys this weekend. I hate that I was not in touch with this stuff before, man. Yeah, man. So Jamari, what do you think about it? What do you think about the boys? You're starting from season one, so you got a while to go. You got to watch the boys. You got to watch the first few seasons of the boys. Then you got to watch Gen V, and you got to get it done before the next season comes out. See, let me tell you about Jamari. I think he ain't gonna mind me sharing his business. See, Jamari is one of the guys. He had his head down. You know what I'm saying? He's been grinding for a minute. He's younger. He's younger. He's in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say his age, but he's in his 20s, and he's been putting his head down, just grinding, doing everything right. And Jamari's been missing out on a lot of, just TV shows and stuff like that because he's been focused. You can't be mad at that. Like, my guy's been, paying attention and, focused on building and getting his life together and getting his career together. And when you're doing that, you don't have time to, kind of lay back and watch TV and get into good shows and things like that. So he's just recently started watching The Boys, and yeah, man, The Boys is definitely one of those shows. So for me, I think, oh, we got my boy Murder in the building. Murder, what's happening, fam? Welcome to Yorktown. What's going on, my guy? Do you watch The Boys on Hulu? Not Hulu, on Amazon Prime? The Boys. You like comic books, man? The Boys in the comics. I was
What
on
we
my way
did was
back from
just
South
change the
Carolina. I was listening to a couple comic books. I was checking out that new X-Men. So X-Men has a really good storyline going on right now about the fall of X, and I ain't gonna go too deep into it. Yes, sir. Hey. So the X-Men right now, they have a really good run going on. At first I was kind of skeptical because the X-Men, it seems like they always dying or they always losing. Like, that's their whole thing. Basically, no matter what happens, the mutants always end up getting the short end of the stick. But I kind of like the direction that they're going now with the fall of X, and just the way that they're carrying it and they're playing it, because usually the mutants are always on their back foot, and they're always, halfway running, halfway fighting on some guerrilla warfare type thing. And, that's kind of still what's going on now, but they have a lot more power and they have a lot more teeth. And so it's not like the Sentinels, where the Sentinels was just coming through and wreaking havoc. But, this one is it's a lot more balanced, man. And then you have a lot of different things going on. And I also see that right now that they're bringing back the Ultimate Universe in the Marvel comics. So for those of you who don't know, you have the original Marvel storyline, and you have all of the different dimensions, and you have all of the different universes within the original Marvel timeline with Earth 616. But then I want to say around the early 2000s, they created the Ultimate Universe, which is where they basically started over from scratch, and they said this is going to be the new Marvel storylines, because a lot of these storylines have been going on since the 60s and the 70s, and the 80s they might have started a new run, and there was just a bunch of different stories going on in the comics. So the idea of the original Marvel universe, Ultimate Universe, was to create a brand new baseline for new people to start over. And then they had the movies that were just starting to come out around the time. Like, this is like the first original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man time, when the Ultimate Universe came out. And then the Ultimate Universe ended up getting convoluted and it started going all over the place. And then they had the Secret Wars event, which ended the Ultimate Universe. And now they're bringing it back. And I think they're bringing it back now to try to create more interesting storylines for the MCU, because right now the MCU ain't really doing too hot because of TV shows like The Boys and Invincible, and just actual good comic book storylines and interpretations. And even DC, DC animated is really nice. The DCEU, I haven't seen Blue Beetle yet. I'm ashamed to admit it. It's like I'm kind of skeptical to watch it, but the Marvel movies and the TV shows, they've been kind of falling off. They just haven't been seeming to find their groove and hit that stride. But the comics are pretty good. Iron Man has a really good storyline right now in the comics. It's so crazy because if you only seen the MCU, then you're used to billionaire playboy Tony Stark. But in the comics right now, he's broke. He lost his business. He lost all his money. He's an alcoholic, and he's just going through it right now. So that's pretty cool to see. What he does and how he ends up getting back on his feet. If he does get back on his feet, let me see. They got an evil what's his name? Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, running around, who basically started up the new Ultimate Universe. He's bringing it back, the maker. So, the comics are doing good right now, but the MCU ain't really hitting for much. So, you know, it's interesting. But yeah, man. I think before Jamari brought that up, I was just talking about being competitive in the world, because these days, these women, man, if you find one that ain't focused on getting the bag or all that other stuff, then you're lucky, man. Like it's rough out here. So I feel I would not trade places for anybody that's out here dating and what I'm saying, trying to compete out there. I do not envy you guys at all. Let me see. My brother said the same thing about Marvel's decline. He's much more knowledgeable in the Marvel DC universe. Yeah, the thing about it is, they've been so successful for so long, they kind of just lost their drive and their competitive edge. And then you got to remember the strike happened as well, the writer strike. So I don't know, man. It's just a lot. There's so much going on in the comic book world that they got to work on. Let me see. Blue Beetle was funny. Not used to seeing superheroes in a Hispanic environment. Okay, I'm gonna check it out, man. I see the last DC movie that I saw was Black Adam, and I didn't hate Black Adam the way a lot of people do. I thought it was pretty decent, but it still wasn't like, all right, this is a great movie. The second Suicide Squad was pretty good, though. I actually liked that one. I did like the second Suicide Squad movie. He thinks the decline started after Stan Lee left. Um, mm, I don't know. See, I can't really say because I don't know how involved Stan Lee was in the actual projects. I know he was doing the cameos and whatnot, but as far as the actual creative process of the MCU, I don't think he really played that heavy of a role. I could be wrong, but Stan Lee at the time, by the time they started making those movies, he was already, like not really as involved because he sold the company a long time ago. He was still the face and everything, but he wasn't really, that heavily involved. And I could be wrong um, about that, so I don't know. I think it's more than anything, Marvel, and a lot of people used to say this, and the talk about it kind of died down when Disney first bought Marvel back in the day. A lot of people used to say that Marvel was going to get Disneyfied and they were going to soften it up and they were going to make it more consumable for families and things like that. And I think that's what happened, but I don't think it happened in the way that a lot of people thought it was going to happen. Like, I think a lot of people probably thought Mickey Mouse was going to be popping up or Goofy, or, they were going to have those cookie cutter Disney type stories. But, I think they kind of went more with the diversity approach, and focusing on, trying to cater to everybody and be extra social justice warrior with it. And it's like, right now people just want to be entertained, bro. Like we don't want to watch comic book movies to feel like we're in real life. We want to escape that. It's escapism. Like it's escapism, bro. Like people watch comics to expand their imagination and go to different worlds and different universes and, be outside the box. But, you look and it seems like they're pandering so much now, which, I understand that, different communities want to they want to feel accounted for and they want to feel present. Like Murder just said, it's not every day that you see a Hispanic environment for superheroes. And, that's cool. It's not every day that you really see, what, black people. You got Miles Morales, he's Hispanic. He's what do they call it? Afro Latino. You got T'Challa, you have Luke Cage. The other guy, he's really strong. I can't. It's Blue something, not Blue Adam. Let me see. What is his name? You got Rhodey. You have black characters scattered here and there. And then you have a couple Asian characters like Shang-Chi, Wong, who's kind of problematic if you're being 100. But, it's very rare that you see, Stan. Now, what I will say, Stan Lee was very good at, making diverse characters without pandering. You know what I'm saying? To where it felt authentic, it felt genuine. It didn't feel like, hey, let's just put this person in, or let's take this person and let's make them this because, it's marketable. Like the X-Men were supposed to be based off of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and you could feel that without it being overtly preachy. So I thought that that was pretty cool. But now it's like, you know, you watch the let's see, the first Captain Marvel movie, and it was showing the flashback, and it was showing how Carol Danvers was getting pushed and beat up, and it was just like, hey, I'm this super powerful woman, and it focused on that and not necessarily the superhero element, and I think that's why a lot of people disliked it. So the thing is, I think the MCU, what they're gonna have to deal with is definitely we're gonna have to cut back because superhero fatigue is real. I think we need to focus, get back to less movies. I actually want to miss, the characters. I want to be left with the cliffhanger and have to wait. I miss that feeling. I remember in game, not in game. I remember Infinity War, and they left us with that crazy cliffhanger, you know what I'm saying? Or another good one, The Winter Soldier, which is one of my favorite movies. It left you hanging. Guardians of the Galaxy, like those old movies where they really capture the spirit. It focused more on the storytelling and it focused more on the characters as they come to terms with their powers, or it was origin stories, and the origin stories actually put you in their world. They had some misses too, of course, but I don't know. They definitely got to figure that out. Let me see. I bought the boys comic as well. I noticed a few differentiations between the two. I plan to watch Gen V as well. I started it at one time but fell off. The first few moments were insane. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. For real. They definitely, yeah, man. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, man, and that's the thing that's dope, bro, where they actually have a lot of things going on. And I think those shows actually capture it. You have people of different creeds and races and religions, but it's not like the show is focusing on that. We got Rex Goldreich in the building. Rex, what's going on, man? Welcome to Yorktown, man. We just chopping it up. Right now we talking about comics and comic book movies and comic book reiterations. Um, so yeah, I think Gen V is really good at showing representation of different characters without, making it the center of attention or focusing on it. Yeah, you might have somebody that's both genders and they switch, but the story isn't driven on, hey, look at me, I'm both genders. It talks about the issues that he goes through, and the disappointment with his father and things like that. But the show isn't just harping on that. Like, you got a whole lot of different things going on, and then you have a much bigger story going on in the background with thriller elements and um Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. I thought that movie was pretty good. I think that was the best Marvel movie that came out in a minute, because it actually focused on telling a story. It was Wanda going crazy. And granted, it was like a House of M light, where, obviously they didn't go that in depth. And then it kind of touched on the secret invasion, not the secret invasion, the secret wars as well. It's kind of like they took the two stories and they kind of mixed it a little bit, but not too much. I mean, obviously, with movies, you got to be respectful and mindful of budgets and things like that. But I think they really did focus on the storytelling element. And I think even the little girl, she was LGBTQ, if I'm not mistaken. But it wasn't like, hey, she's LGBTQ. Let's just focus on that. It told a story, which was actually pretty dope. And I like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. You had dealing with Wanda losing her mind, going crazy. So you had that representation going on also. There was just a lot of different things that blended together while telling the larger story as a whole. Doctor Strange messing with the fabric of time, and when you make mistakes, the things that you have to go through to right those mistakes and correct those wrongs, or you get too entitled, or you feel like you can just do whatever you want, and there's consequences for that. That's the type of storytelling that I enjoy seeing, man. So I think that was good. Man, we need to figure out what we're gonna do for the end of the year. I'm gonna have to do a top movies that I saw this year, top purchases, things like that, and we're gonna start getting on this New Year recap and things like that. So be on the lookout for that. But yo, man, Yorktown, I gotta keep it 100. Your boy is tired. I don't know if y'all can see these bags under my eyes. You know, 2 under 2 is real. Three, it's real. And we about to hit the road. Thursday, no, Wednesday night, I'm trying to see how I can work it out to go live. Because we are gonna be on the road, we traveling, we going to visit some family this week. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm just gonna go live early Wednesday so we can keep the schedule going. If I do go live early on Wednesday, I'll just make an announcement if y'all want to come through and chop it up. But yeah, we going out of town. We're gonna be there from Wednesday until Sunday. I mean, I ain't working right now. Wifey is on maternity leave. So we just gonna take a trip, bro. Why not, man? But anyways, I'm gonna let y'all know how we decide to handle that, because I still gotta go live. Definitely trying to keep the streak going. But I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. Your boy is tired, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share so we can get it across the air. Make sure you hit that little bell so you can tell when Yorktown is opening its gates and you guys can come kick it with your boy. Definitely hear that. Yeah, man. Murder, we going, bro. So yeah, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all, bro. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Same time, same place.